So, I've got something really beautiful to share with you today. I mean, truly, truly beautiful. It's a story that just wrapped around my heart and wouldn't let go. One that reminds us of the incredible, almost magical ways love can heal, even when it's the quietest kind. Here on Phoenix Fortis, we often talk about rising from the ashes, finding strength in vulnerability, and the powerful journey of redemption. Today's story, it just embodies all of that and so much more. It's about loyalty that stretches beyond what we think is possible, about finding connection in the most unexpected places, and the enduring echo of a love that truly transformed lives. Sometimes grief feels like a storm that never passes, but every once in a while, someone or something shows up and helps us weather it. And I am honored to say that with me today, I have not one, but two very special guests in the booth. Please welcome Peter and Sunny. Sunny is, as you'll hear, a beautiful golden retriever with the gentlest eyes you've ever seen. And while she may not have much to say, her story speaks volumes.
Yeah, she is a little spoiled now. Loves car rides, hates early mornings. But she's come a long way. We both have.
And that is exactly what we are here to talk about. Peter, you were James's best friend. You knew him before Sunny ever entered the picture, but after James passed, you and Sunny had to learn how to move forward together. And from what I've heard, it wasn't exactly love at first sight.
Not exactly, no. She tolerated me at best. I think we both just missed him too much to know what to do with each other. But every evening she still goes and sits beside that bench. And now I go with her.
Beside the bench. That's where this all begins. To understand the heart of the story, the weight behind the quiet vigil, and the bond that grew from loss, we have to go back to where it really started. Peter, tell me about James. Who was he to you? What kind of man was he?
Diane, let me tell you about James. He was steady. You know, the kind of person who doesn't say much, but when they do, it means something. That was James. He was my best friend. We served together overseas, 2 tours. And even in the worst moments, he had this calm, like the eye in a storm. But when he got back, that storm followed him home. He didn't talk about it much. Honestly, most of us don't. But I think James carried a lot more than he let on. He'd get quiet. Really quiet. There was a distance in his eyes, like part of him was still back there, even when he was right in front of you. He struggled to connect, to find his footing. It was a quiet isolation, not a loud one, but it was there, heavy. He'd try, bless his heart. He'd try to fit in, but you could see the effort it took. He wasn't the same carefree guy I knew before. It was hard to watch, knowing there was so much pain he couldn't even articulate. What kept him going, what really pulled him back to the world, was Sunny. That dog changed everything. Changed.
Peter, that kind of bond, that kind of friendship, it's rare. And hearing you speak about James like that, I can feel how much he meant to you. You mentioned Sunny, that she changed everything for him. Tell me, how did the two of them find each other?
It wasn't planned. Not really. James had started volunteering at a local shelter. Just something to fill the quiet hours. And that's where he found her. Sunny was a mess, just a pup. Tiny, matted fur, a limp. They said she'd been through a lot, trauma, neglect. She'd been returned more than once, scared of people, hiding in the back of her kennel. But James, he didn't rush her. He just sat, right outside her cage. Hours passed. No reaching, no coaxing. Just presence. Didn't try to touch her, just sat. And somehow, they saw each other, two broken souls, you know? He didn't say it, but I could see it in his eyes. He recognized something in her. He brought her home, and for the first few weeks, She barely came out from under the couch, but he never pushed. It was like he understood her silence, her fear, because he felt it too.
That image, it's just so powerful, Peter. Not everyone would have had the patience or the heart to do what James did, but he saw her. Not just a dog in a cage, but something familiar. Another wounded soul. Two quiet hearts carrying more than they could say. It's beautiful, really, how healing can begin in stillness. No grand gestures, just being there.
And it truly was profound, Diane, to watch it. And slowly, she began to trust him. It started small, her nose peeking out from under the couch, then creeping out to eat when he wasn't looking. He never pushed her, he just let her be. He always had a soft blanket nearby, a bowl of water, like a standing invitation. And then, one day, her tail wagged, just once, barely there. James didn't even react. He just kept reading aloud like he always did. But I saw it in him, that flicker, that hope. They didn't need words. They shared the silence, just breathing the same air, healing side by side, that quiet patience, that unwavering presence. James stitched Sonny back together, one thread at a time, and somehow she was doing the same for him.
That's beautiful. Truly, there's something so sacred about that kind of quiet understanding, where healing happens without a single word. It's like they gave each other permission to just be broken, patient, and slowly whole again.
You know, things were really looking up for James, Diane. He was truly happy, I think, for the first time in a long time. Sonny had brought so much light back into his life, into our lives, really. We'd started to see the old James again, the one who used to laugh easily. And then, it was just so sudden. One morning I got the call, completely out of the blue. James, he was just gone. A heart attack, they said. No warning. It was like the air got sucked right out of the world. I remember just standing there, numb. It felt impossible. How could someone who had just started to truly live again just be gone? The grief, Diane, it was a heavy, crushing weight. For me, for his family, for the few friends he had reconnected with, and for Sonny. I worried so much about her. The void he left, it wasn't just a space. It was a gaping hole in everything. After James passed, I just kept thinking about Sonny. She was James's world, and he was hers. I worried she wouldn't understand, that she'd just be lost. For a few days she seemed so confused, just wandering the house, whimpering. It broke my heart. Then, one evening, about a week after, I saw her at the bus stop, the one James always took, the one they'd meet at every day. She was just sitting there, beside the bench, looking down the street, waiting. And she did it every single day, Diane. Rain or shine, evenings, usually, she'd just go and sit for an hour or two, sometimes longer, just waiting. It was heartbreaking, but also, it was the most loyal thing I'd ever seen. That quiet spot by the bench that became her place. It was her vigil. It broke my heart. I didn't know what to do, but I couldn't leave her alone, so I brought her home with me. But let's be honest, Sonny didn't want me. She tolerated me at best. I wasn't James. I wasn't her person. She wouldn't make eye contact, wouldn't come near me. She kept her distance. But every evening around the same time, she'd go to the front door and whine. One night, I followed her, and she led me straight back to the bus stop again. She just sat there, still, watching the road like she was waiting for him to walk around the corner. And the next night, she did it again. And the next. Eventually. I started bringing a folding chair. I'd sit a few feet away. No leash, no talking. Just the two of us, waiting. We didn't know what to do with each other. We were both grieving in our own way. But somehow, sitting beside that bench every night, it became something we could do, something steady, familiar. It wasn't love, not then. It was survival. Shared silence.
Peter, hearing you tell this, it's just so incredibly powerful. It speaks to so many things, doesn't it? That deep, unwavering loyalty, even beyond loss. Sonny's vigil, it's such a quiet, profound testament to a love that truly transcends everything. But it sounds like the bond you two share now didn't come easily. So tell me, what changed? What happened that allowed the relationship between you and Sonny to grow into what it is today?
Honestly, it didn't happen overnight. Not even close. For a long time, we just coexisted. I fed her, walked her, sat beside her on the bench, but there was no tail wag, no nuzzling up to me. She was polite, I guess, but distant. She was still waiting for him. And maybe, in a way, so was I. But grief has a way of softening sharp edges, if you sit with it long enough. And I think that's what happened with us. One night, a storm rolled in, loud thunder, pouring rain. I got home late, soaked and tired, and when I walked through the door, there she was, sitting in the hallway, waiting for me. Not wagging or jumping or anything like that. Just there, present. I sat on the floor to take my boots off, and for the first time, she came over, laid her head on my knee, and I just broke. All the grief I'd been keeping bottled up. It came out in one big, messy, quiet cry. And she didn't move, didn't flinch, just stayed right there, pressing into me like she understood every bit of it. That was the moment something shifted. After that, it was small things. She'd sit closer, rest her head on my foot when I read, follow me from room to room, and one day I caught her doing something James used to do, waiting at the door when I came back from the store. It was never sudden, never dramatic, but over time it stopped being his dog in my house. She became ours. I think we both realized we weren't filling a void. We were building something new.
Peter, that moment, her head on your knee, you finally letting the grief pour out, I think that's one of the most human things I've ever heard. So often, we talk about healing like it's this big, dramatic thing, a breakthrough, a light bulb. But sometimes, it's just a quiet presence. A dog who sits beside you while your whole world cracks open. You and Sonny didn't replace what you lost in James. You honored him by choosing to stay with the pain, to stay with each other. And in doing that, you built something real, something sacred. That's what Phoenix Fortis is about. Not just surviving the fire, but slowly, patiently, rising through the ashes. Together. Peter, thank you, truly, for sharing James's story, for sharing your story, and for letting us see the quiet, sacred bond you've built with Sonny.
Thank you for having me, Diane. It means a lot to share James's and Sonny's story.
And Sonny, sweet girl, thank you too. You may not have words, but your story has spoken louder than most ever could. To all our listeners out there, grief is not a straight path. Healing rarely comes in a single moment. Sometimes it's just about showing up, sitting in silence, letting love re-enter the room one breath at a time. If you're in that place right now, hurting, waiting, wondering if the ache will ever ease, let this story remind you, you're not alone. Hope doesn't always arrive with trumpets. Sometimes it shows up beside the bench. You don't have to rush it. Just breathe. Just be. And know that love, real, healing love, has a way of finding us again. Thank you again for joining us today. This has been Phoenix Fortis, where stories of resilience, hope, and quiet redemption take flight. I'm your host, Diane, and as always, keep rising.